To your students?
A life lesson.
A life lesson.
If you had to give advice to one thing to my kids.
I'd say always believe in yourself.
There you go.
No matter what anyone else ever says, the only thing you control is what you can do about yourself.
Good
The
job.
harder you work, the more you believe in yourself, the more successful you're going to be.
Good job. Excellent. Thank you.
Tom Brady was speaking to Brian Kinchen, the team's new long snapper.
Oh, here they are for real.
Kinchen was documenting his final days in the NFL for his family and his students. As it turned out, in his last game, Kinchen himself would need to heed Brady's words more than anyone could ever imagine. 7 weeks earlier, Kinchen was out of football and working at Parkview Baptist School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was teaching Bible class and coaching youth football. Meanwhile, the Patriots had lost their second long snapper to injury.
Anybody we can get them.
And their vice president of player personnel was desperate.
Scott Pioli called me about 20 minutes into class, and he told me that you're not going to believe me, but we need to have you up here to try you out. And I said that you've got to be kidding me.
Scott Pioli and Bill Belichick knew Kinchen from their days with the Cleveland Browns. Kinchen had played in the NFL for 13 seasons, but hadn't taken a snap in 3 years.
When he asked me to come try out, I didn't really know that I wanted to. I told him I didn't know, and I told him to call me back later and I'll make a decision. I decided to go, and a couple of games, everything was good. And then playoffs hit and chaos ensued.
From bone-chilled Foxborough's Gillette Stadium, it is the AFC semifinal matchup.
It was a wind chill of -12. I don't think I'd ever played anything that cold. I actually wore tights for the first time in my career. And it kind of hindered me a little bit. My second snap hit the ground. Because I had put a ball on the ground once in 13 years. So yeah, it started to become a mind game at that point for me.
Good afternoon from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. It is the AFC Championship game.
The last ball that I threw was just a hair high. And I was so mad. And obviously after the Titan game, just really in a bad place.
We weren't overly concerned yet. That changed the week we got to the Super Bowl during practice.
I threw that high ball again. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. I just couldn't believe it. And I called Scott Pioli that night, and I told him, man, you gotta send me home. I said, send me home, Scott. I don't want to be here.
And I'm like, Brian, Super Bowl Sunday. What do you mean? You're not leaving. You're not going anywhere. And now Adam's getting tense. The holder's getting tense. And it's a real issue.
I hate to make them have doubt and have concerns. I just wanted to go home so bad today and just leave this all behind me, but I just can't let these feelings overcome me.
And so the oddest moment ever in the history of my life happens the next day at practice. After a punt period, I'm jogging off the field, I look over at Belichick, and he gives me this. Bill Belichick. I've never seen or heard of him doing that ever. And it was just like, man, this must be bad.
I was not there at the pregame meal, but there was a point in time we got word that Brian had cut himself.
He was like trying to cut a roll or piece of bread or something and, slashed his hand with a knife.
And it cut right through my finger and cut my pointer finger in my right hand. Like I could feel it cut down to either the ligament or the bone.
Bill was like, I don't give a he's playing in this game. He's snapping the ball. So sure, he got taped up, bandaged up.
As I went out to pregame, I was so nervous I could barely snap the football.
Second punt snap of the game, I put the ball on the ground. 2 balls on the ground in the first half. I ran off the field, and I can see Belichick out of the corner of my eye. Belichick says, we're playing in the Super Bowl, Brian. You're not doing a very good job. So obviously I'm as distraught. That's probably the most difficult moment. And it's 6 minutes or so into the fourth quarter, roughly. All I can remember is literally praying to God that we would score a touchdown. Because I knew if we scored a touchdown, that would put us up by 5 points. And I knew, just like everybody else on the planet, that we weren't going to kick an extra point. We were going to go for 2. I could win the Super Bowl without ever having to go onto the field.
It goes a direct snap to Kevin Crawford. He runs it in. And with 2:51 to go in Super Bowl 38, it is 29-22.
And then Ricky Prohl runs the little post route uncovered.
Floats it in the end zone, wide open, touchdown, Carolina!
He catches the football, and again, I knew what my fate was going to be.
The Patriots are now set up at their own 40-yard line, all 3 timeouts, and 68 seconds on the clock to get Adam Vinatieri into field goal range.
I mean, I was praying, not even just to win, but there was this moment that came over me too. I was praying for Kinch. He's too good of a man for it to end in a bad way.
So we run on the field to kick the field goal, and I'm just absolutely terrified. Thinking in my mind all these thoughts that this is a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life. It will define my career.
New England has had difficulties with long snaps. Brian Kinchen with a couple that went astray.
I'm not going to be shy. I'm going to throw it like I always did. So as soon as he gave me his hand, I released it, and I knew it was perfect.
Kick is on the way. Kick is good! Kick is good! It is over! We're Super Bowl champions again!
I remember distinctly, Belichick was on the podium, and I was 10 feet from him. And I looked down at him, I said,
Hey, Bill, did I get it done or did I get it? All right, okay.
it was an unbelievable moment, but it fried every nerve in my body. To this day, I can't even watch the replay. To go from such an unbelievable depth of disparity and, I mean, literally crying out to God to let this moment pass, and then to see that ball split the uprights.
That was the longest, most excruciating game and day of my life. I'm just so glad it's over.
How cool is this, guys?
Got it done when I had to get it done. I'm so happy that everybody got to be there, to be a part of it. I'm so glad that I made the boys proud.
I always remember watching games and guys kissing the trophy, and I'm like, why do they kiss the trophy? It's so stupid. What did I do the first time I got it? I kissed the trophy.